Hey, Chris Cosby here. Coming to you with the next edition of What's Your Why Wednesday. So today with me, I have Farlie Chastain. And Farlie, thanks for joining me.
Hi, glad to be here.
So you work over at the Valley Child Adolescent Campus.
Yes.
And how long have you worked there?
I got there as an intern in 1999.
Okay.
So I started as an employee
Yep.
in 2001. So I've been there a few days.
Just a few days.
Yes, sir.
And what's your title at the moment?
So I'm the director of clinical services.
Okay.
I supervise all the therapists. I'm
Okay.
a licensed clinical social worker,
Yep.
and I'm over the ancillary therapies departments.
Okay. Now, where are you from originally?
So I guess I claim Cleveland, Tennessee, just up the road a little bit as home.
Okay.
I've been there since I was about 7 years old, so I guess that is home.
Do you still live in the Cleveland area?
We do. We
Okay.
live in North Cleveland. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Family, married, kids?
Yeah. I have 5 kids, happily
Okay.
married. They're
I'm learning something new today too. I didn't know you had 5. I knew you had
Yeah.
kids. I didn't know you had 5.
yeah, they're all grown.
Okay.
They're all out of the house. So it's
What's the range? Ages?
Well, we go from 19 to 30.
19 to 30. Okay.
Yeah, it makes me sound really old.
Yeah, you know. And then wife?
Beautiful, wonderful wife. Her
Okay.
name's Miranda.
All right.
And she runs herd over 2 very large dogs. We have 225-pound Great Pyrenees German Shepherd mixes.
Yeah, those things are big.
Yeah.
So those are the favorite kids.
They are the favorite kids.
Those are
Yes.
favorite kids. Okay. So, I've spent some time with you over on the child campus, and I remember doing the tour really opened my eyes to what you face day in and day out on that campus. I mean, there's good days and there's some bad days. Sometimes you get some really sad stories that come through your campus. And so, you have to be driven by something internally every day to drive you to do what you do. Because you do make a huge difference over there. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so I want to know, what is it that drives you to do what you do every day? Because that's your why. When people ask what's your why, it's something internally that drives you. So I would greatly appreciate it if you would share with me and everybody your why on why you do what you do every day.
I think for me, it's you got a beginning and then a growing why. Why is not just this is what happened that caused me to want to do this, but
Right.
it's a series of events, and for me that why has grown over time.
Okay.
So I would tell you it started for me with the loss of a friend in high school who suicided,
Okay.
and that kind of sent me down the path of looking at mental health, what I could do, and then getting into college and studying. I always felt a calling to help people, and I'll speak. I want to speak real clear about that there is a. I'm very sorry. Excuse me.
No,
there
you're
is
fine.
a spiritual calling that I believe that I have to help people,
Right.
and that I see great opportunity in the mental health field. So when I landed there and I got to Parkridge Valley, I was actually thinking that I wanted to work with the homeless population.
Okay.
And working with the homeless, I spent some time and discovered that there is just tons of mental illness with homelessness. And I learned about schizophrenia. And then I ended up doing an internship at Parkridge Valley, and I just never left.
Yeah.
So then when you talk about good days and bad days, the kids that we serve, these are kids who come from very chaotic backgrounds.
Right. Right.
Parents who are abusive or unable to maintain
Right.
entire systems that are set up to make kids fail,
Right.
or that is set up that causes failure. And then when you see that this history of abuse, this history of chaos, this history of maltreatment or lack of resources, and then you get these kids in, and you're able to do something. That they're all behaviorally disrupted. They have a hard time functioning at home or at school,
Right.
so they blow out.
Right.
And to get into Parkridge Valley Hospital with suicidal ideation, and you take a kid and you work with a kid who is there, who wanted to be dead.
Right.
And you're able to work with them on ways to manage those horrible feelings.
Right.
And they leave. The family has hope. The child has hope.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you what we give most is that hope to grow. So my why
Yep.
is about the ability to give hope to people who are in hopeless situations.
Right. Right.
My why is also a little girl. She was 7 years old, and it was my very first Christmas. Parkridge Valley Hospital is a great place to work. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Parkridge Medical Center is a fantastic organization. y'all love our kids.
Yeah,
We love
absolutely.
our kids. And so it's Christmas, and
Yeah.
we are, our kids, many of our kids, we have a residential program, and they are in the custody of the Department of Children's Services, meaning that they've been taken away from parents, usually because of abuse or neglect or trauma of some kind through the court system. These kids don't get like regular Christmas.
Right.
And one of the things you'll hear our kids say is they love to be at Parkridge Valley Hospital during Christmas because it's great. And it's great because Parkridge Medical Center wraps these kids up and says, we love y'all.
That's right.
So go back to my little girl. It's Christmas morning. I'm there, you know, my family's at home, but these kids need someone to be there. So a lot of our staff are there. We work on Christmas morning, and this little girl, she's opening gifts, and she pulls out this doll, and she just loves this doll. It's like a stuffed dog is actually what it is, and I got a dolly, and she's calling it a dolly, and she wraps it up, and she's just holding it. It's so sweet, and she notices there's a tag on it, and she begins to cry.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've never gotten a new toy.
Oh, wow.
And she tells that story, and that is my why.
Yeah.
And for that little girl who had been horribly abused physically and sexually, watching her go from a very broken child to a girl who could go home, that got to a foster home and got to stay.
Yeah.
That's my why.
Yeah.
My why is also that 15-year-old girl that I worked with that came in who had nearly suicided on a couple of different occasions. And she comes in and we're able to work with her, and she's able to find a safe place to share her trauma, to find that hope to be able to move forward. And I've got about 1,000 more of these stories that I can tell you.
I know you do from the time I spent with you, and we pass so many situations as we walk through, and watching you tell those stories, I absolutely believe that. So I want you to hear from me that you do make a difference. I see it with my own eyes. I hear it in stories people share about the things you do at Valley Child. So thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for giving those kids hope, and those foster families hope as well, as they get a chance to make a difference in those lives too. So thank you for what you do for Valley.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to say again, it is really good to work in a corporation, in a company that is very personal.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Sure.
Well, guys, that's this edition of What's Your Why Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon on the next edition. Have a great day.